to the second quarter on Pigskin Holiday Week 8, I believe. 8. Second quarter, by the way, is sponsored by the St. Louis Cardinals and Raleigh Squirrel. Congratulations to the Cardinals on the World Series 11-11. One of the most fantastic runs by a baseball team of all time.
Amazing. Historical.
Game 6
Historical.
It was amazing games of all of the times.
Yes.
Thank you, Vladimir.
Speaking of that, real quick, David Freese is just getting all.
Oh my gosh.
He rocked it during
NL
the playoffs,
MVP.
got MVP, got a Corvette, a key to the city, and tonight he's on Leno. Holy shit.
I know, man. I know. Hometown
I
boy.
should have used that, huh, from Lafayette. Anyway, speaking of hometown, speaking of the Cardinals, they were at the Rams game, some of them, yesterday. La Russa had a Bradford jersey on,
Yeah, he did.
throwback, it was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
A lot of the Cardinals were there, and it rubbed off. The winning rubbed off. And for once, this season, after we're in week 8, we can talk about a win by the Rams.
Woo!
Huzzah.
Hey, a very impressive win.
Yes.
That ain't no
Over
shit.
a great team. Over a great team.
Yeah, the Saints.
My gosh.
The Saints
What
are now
the hell?
5-3. Remember the opening week
Oh yeah.
against the Packers? We thought,
yeah.
oh boy.
Oh no.
I'll touch on that a little bit later, but that was quite impressive by the Rams. I will give them that. For
Well,
sure.
I think in talking a while ago with you guys about this game before we went on the air, I think we all agree that one of the biggest things besides the Cardinals being there, and like we said, the Cardinals won a World Series title right down the street. You
Right.
kind of got to show up when they're in your house.
Yeah.
But Steven Jackson, I think, was the difference yesterday.
Huge. Huge.
And those uniforms, Jen likes those uniforms.
I love those uniforms.
By the way, Rams, Jen says, keep the throwbacks.
Keep them.
Throw them back,
Keep them.
all the time.
Why would
throw
you?
the other ones away.
Away.
She don't like the
Out.
black
Blue and gold. Out with the blue and gold.
stuff. Yeah.
Bring back the royal blue and
Black and gold.
Yeller.
That would be the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Woo!
Woo, yeah. By the way, we'll get into that later.
Yeah, we definitely
during
will
the
get
hot
into that
seat. If
later.
there's time, that's what I want to put
I
in the hot seat.
want nothing more than to talk about the Patriots losing.
And I have a specific reason for talking about it. Anyway, back to the Rams. AJ Feely filled in for Sam Bradford. Bradford out again with the bad ankle, high ankle sprain.
High ankle sprain.
What's a low ankle sprain?
I don't know. Achilles tendon.
Oh, by the way, Jen's Packers were off this week, so since she has nothing to talk about with her teams, I think the Bucks were off too.
Yeah, Jets were off too.
So Jen, hello to you. Thank you for your work behind the camera.
Many
Mad
thank
props.
You do good work.
Anyway,
Make this guy look good.
yes. I did this happen. Oh, the cat. Yeah, Cat Jackson has a buddy. Chilli Rodgers.
Chilli Rodgers.
Chilli Rodgers.
Chilli. 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 Hello.
You gotta get that angry, disgruntled, no reparations voice going on.
Chilli Rodgers, mother.
Glad you guys got to meet our mascot in training. We have Cat Jackson and Chilli Rodgers.
Dang right.
And someday we'll get that photo with them 2 helmets.
It
Anyway,
will happen.
I digress. We digress. Back to what we were trying to talk
I
about.
dissect.
The Rams.
AJ Feely filled in again for Bradford. Not a monster day, but you know what he didn't do?
Lose.
Or throw a pick.
Oh. Even better. Yeah.
He threw 1 touchdown to Brendan Lloyd.
Yes.
A pretty sweet one.
Yeah.
Now, on the opening drive, they could have had a much sweeter one, but he barely overthrew him. It was nice. We saw them trying to get this hookup going, and it finally fell into place.
Starting to work.
20 of 37, 175 yards for Feely yesterday. But, he when you got a monster like Steven Jackson running the ball with an attitude, moving them chains, eat them up.
Yeah, he did his job. He was the workhorse yesterday.
No one had monster numbers yesterday except for Chris Long, who had 3 of the Rams' 6 sacks.
Dang.
But offensively, it would just grind it out, chunk, chunk, chunk.
Yeah.
6 sacks
Warm
for the
down.
Rams. I mean,
Yeah.
this happen?
Now, by the way, I just want to say, when the Rams played the Packers, that's a game that the Rams could have won if they had this kind of offense.
Right.
The defense held them, and the first half Green Bay scored 24. They barely got to that before halftime.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't score nothing after that. I mean, the Rams, with some offense, could have beat Green Bay.
Could have.
Dallas, same scenario. One big 91-yard run by DeMarco Murray, and nothing else for the first quarter and into the second quarter.
Mm-hmm.
The first half was like blasé.
Yeah.
They still
I like that.
Blase.
these first halves of these games, the Rams. This is the first time they took it and hold it,
Right.
and didn't allow no points on the other side.
Yeah.
They scored the points instead. So I don't know if it's a winning formula and it's going to continue, but
I hope so.
I know Brandon Lloyd and Steven Jackson. Between those two guys, I'm pretty impressed by the contributions.
Yeah.
Not just the
They're
on-field
leaders.
stats, but the overall psyche of the team in the locker room.
Yeah. Yeah, they're good. They're great leaders.
CT, if I put you in that locker room, what would you come back and tell me the next day? Some good stories, huh? No, but what do you think is going on in the locker room? I know Steven Jackson had some meetings this week or something.
Well, from what I understand, he did have a meeting with the team, and I'm sure that whenever he starts getting on a rant, people will listen.
Oh, apparently he was getting in. He was getting in Alex Barron's face and yelling at him. He was yelling at Jason Smith. He was yelling at the entire offensive line. He was calling everybody out who hadn't been called out yet. He basically was just saying that he's sick and effing tired of the way that this team is going.
Well, you can't blame him.
No,
I mean,
not at all.
first off, Bradford's good. He can get the ball to people, and they can't catch it.
Right,
It's not acceptable for people to not be able to catch in the NFL,
right.
especially whenever you've got a quarterback that's good and can get you the ball.
We've been saying that every week. It's the
Fundamentals.
NFL. You've played football for years. Nothing new to you.
Fundamentals.
Then on top of that, Steven Jackson, for years now, has been the leading offensive powerhouse for the Rams, and he's wearing down. He knows he's wearing down. He shows signs of it last year, and he's showing some this year. He's not going like he used to, and he's just done too much.
Mm.
And he needs to get some of that focus off of him, so other people need to start doing their job so that he doesn't have to cover that slack.
Yeah.
So I think that was kind of a deal like, all right, guys, I'm not going to be here forever.
Right.
You need to get your act together quick.
Yeah.
I know it's an easy comparison, but when Steven Jackson is on, he runs. He's like a thoroughbred with flared nostrils. Reminds me of Eric Dickerson a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
And you can tell when he's run with purpose. And yesterday he did that. So I mean, but what else propelled the team to the victory yesterday?
I think a lot of it. The year that they went 1-15, they played the Saints, and I believe that was the year that the Saints went to the Super Bowl, and the Rams almost beat the Saints then.
Right.
So I think they realized that when they played against Green Bay and held them scoreless in the second half, that their defense is actually that their defense is the caliber that it needs to be. They can stay. They don't need their offense is what's not getting it done, and I think Steven Jackson finally just had enough of it. And I think that he's his bringing in Brandon Lloyd, who's an offensive team leader and who wants to be in St. Louis. He didn't think of trading from Denver to St. Louis was a downgrade. He thought of it as an upgrade.
Yeah.
He thought of it as a new opportunity for him to be able to be an offensive leader on a team that needs somebody like that. Mm-hmm. And then Steven Jackson already had that role in place, so now you have two major threats on your offense and two big names, two guys who don't really need to prove themselves because they've already done it.
Right.
And I think I think it's infectious. I think people are starting to follow it and realize, hey, we can actually, we're good enough. We can do this.
Yeah. Well, and I think one of the things is too to think about Brandon Lloyd. He's only played 2 games with the Rams now, and to see him come in, he knows the offense a little bit because of Josh McDaniel.
Right.
Which we'll get into more of that in a minute about the offense. But he comes in cold. And jumps onto a Rams team he's not familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
In the first week, you see them. He's got the backup quarterback trying to make the connection. It was kind of slow to come, but
Mm-hmm.
you saw them keep trying.
Yeah.
Lloyd get overthrown, or maybe run a route different than what they're used to, or just little things would happen. But they kept trying. And this week, when the game first started, the first quarter or so, Jen and I were watching. And we're seeing the same thing. It still wasn't quite there yet, but it was almost there.
Yeah.
So when you see a guy like Lloyd come in, and you see him and Philly trying to work that out, and you see them right in front of you, you see Lloyd, who's so humble and so talented. You see him struggle, but keep trying to accomplish what he's trying, and you see it start happening.
No quit.
You got to feed off that. I mean, it was kind of interesting dynamic to watch that. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, looking at the offense, no gaudy numbers. So that tells me that aside from Steven Jackson. 159 yards and 2 touchdowns. The offense was geared towards spreading it around and chunk, chug. You know, not no big. They did have the one big play they would have got. That was probably about a 60-yard touchdown catch in the making, but he overthrown. But other than that, they didn't do a whole lot of deep balls. It was just chunk,
balls.
chunk.
Balls deep.
You can't put that graphic on the screen. Alright. So, like I said, Philly didn't have any. Oh boy. Alright. Let's go look at the Saints for a minute. Before we get away from the Rams, I just want to mention Brendan Lloyd. Even though he was a very impactful player yesterday, stats don't indicate that. He had 6 catches for 53 yards and 1 touchdown, while Salas had 5 catches for 47 yards. So that's it's not bad.
Can I say once again that
spread around.
It's nice to see Salas out there and catching the ball. It's nice to see that. Because he
Now-
struggled at the beginning, and he had a couple of drop passes in a couple of games where it was, key moments in a game.
Not as bad as Kendrick.
No, not as bad, not near as bad. But
Something else the Rams got yesterday they haven't got before this season, unless I'm missing something, was a pick 6 by Stewart.
yeah,
That was pretty sweet. Now, the score is 31-21. I want to point out that the 21 points the Saints got was late in the second half. They didn't mount a charge until, I think, a turnover, an interception or something. Yeah, it was. It was Philly inside the 10-yard line, got hit and fumbled the ball and put in the end zone for a touchdown. That was the first 7 points, and that was 21.
yeah,
So, ignore the score.
yeah.
It was all Rams. Very surprising. Okay, Drew Brees, 30 of 44, 269 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks.
Wow.
I don't know who I was looking at with the Saints yesterday. Who didn't do much?
Who didn't do much?
Who that?
Who there? Who there? Who there?
Who there?
Yeah,
Papa
so let's do the schedule thing again. Let's see what the Saints got to look at. What are they going to do with this 5-3 record? We're looking at, for the Saints, Tampa Bay, Atlanta, the Giants, Detroit, Tennessee, Minnesota, Atlanta, and Carolina. That's not a gravy schedule.
No.
They could lose easily at least 2 more games, if not 3.
Easily. Not to mention the ones that show up like the Rams did.
But what is this? I mean, how do you go from a 62-7 drumming of the Colts, which I know it's the Colts, but
Right.
it's still NFL football.
And then you have this
It was-
attitude that you're not going to let up in the second half, and you're not
Right.
going to,
that
you're
was a
not gonna-
statement game.
Yeah.
And they said that. We covered that on the show last week. 34-7 at halftime. We're not going to let up. We're going to become who we are. And
And the Rams said, "No,
This is who they
no, you're
became."
not. No, you're not."
so how do you go from a 62-7 win to a 31-21 loss to a winless team? You played back-to-back winless teams.
You meet a team that's hungrier than you. You meet a team that hasn't won yet.
I think the Cardinals should just keep going out of the dome.
Right? Yeah.
What CT? What did you take the most out of this game? What does it mean going forward?
For the Rams or for the Saints?
Either. What stands out to you?
I'm not ready to get aboard the bandwagon yet for the Rams.
Oh, there's no bandwagon yet. There's one in the garage that they might be trying to start up.
You know, a lot of people, as soon as a team wins a game, they're just like, "Oh, they're the greatest." No, I mean, it was a very impressive win. It was a hard-fought win. They needed it. They earned it. Good for them. Do it again.
Do 10 more.
Yeah. Do it next week. Do it the week after that. Then for the Saints, I don't know what to think of that. It's like, there's the Saints that ran all over Green Bay's defense in the opening week. Just waltzed over them like it was nothing. That was an offensive battle everywhere. And then they come in to a team that has not won a game, has not looked impressive in my book at all,
No.
and then just got rolled. How does this happen?
Well, how this happens is the offense caught up to the defense finally. So Mario, what does the Rams schedule tell us could happen?
Well, next week they have Arizona, which
They can win.
could be a win, but they're at Arizona. Then after that they're at Cleveland, which could be a win. Could be a win. Then Arizona comes here again, could be a win. Then kind of starts a little bit of a tough spot for them.
Cincinnati.
They go
San
to
Francisco.
San Francisco. Could be very, very tough for them going to San Francisco. Then they go to Seattle. Could go either way. It's
They
a Monday
should win
night
that.
game too.
Oh.
Against Seattle. At Seattle, by the way.
You want to go?
Then Cincinnati comes here.
What was that last week? You said during your segment, whatever they do out there, drink coffee or whatever.
Yeah, that's something. And then Cincinnati comes here, which could be a loss with the way that Cincinnati's playing here recently.
Dalton and Green is a
Dalton
good
is not playing like, I mean, you look at his numbers and it's the classic case of you look at the numbers and you don't really think that he's doing that good, but he's finding a way to win and he's being a team leader.
I wouldn't
And
mind
he's doing
seeing
it as a rookie.
Buffalo and Cincy play again.
That would be great.
Are they going to meet later?
That would be great. Then after Cincinnati, the Rams go to Pittsburgh.
Oh no!
Oh
Yeah. And then after that, they end the season with San Francisco coming here.
Not so
Which
good.
we'll try to make one of those games.
That'd be awesome.
I say, at best, Rams either go a repeat of last year at 7-9, or maybe 8-8. But I don't really.
wouldn't go as high as the 7. I'd probably go to about the 6 to 10.
I see both. You know, I see
We
both
got
games.
5
in
more
Arizona.
games to get there. You don't know.
I see them going on it. They could easily go on a 3-game winning streak here with Arizona, Cleveland, and Arizona again. Or
They
Seattle,
could.
I mean.
They could. If Jackson stays healthy and Lloyd keeps doing what he's doing, and the other guys start picking up on that.
And then you think
Silas
Bradford's
and
probably going to come
Hendricks.
back like either next week or the week afterwards. So either in Arizona or Cleveland, we're going to see Bradford.
The Arizona, Seattle, Cleveland's which win?
Yeah.
San Fran, if the team picks up some steam, maybe you get a split.
Cincy, Pittsburgh, kind of
I
hard.
don't see
San
them beating
Fran's.
San Fran either time.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Well, but then again, the Rams are one of them dangerous teams that you don't know what you're going to get, like what happened this week.
Right.
And that's without Bradford, and that's in Lloyd's only second game.
Right.
So you put a few more games under Lloyd's belt, Bradford back in, you never know. If Jackson stays healthy, like I said, and injuries we don't even have Amendola.
Right.
So, speaking of Cleveland and San Francisco, Cleveland and Seattle last week, 6-3.
Mm-hmm.
This week, San Francisco played Cleveland, allowed Cleveland to score 10, and San Fran only scored 20.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell?
I know.
Every week could sometimes be so different.
It is. You don't. This year in football is so. Everything is so unexpected. There's always just there's drama every week. There's all kinds of
Big
different
leagues
what the
getting
hell? Holy shit!
All the time.
Yeah.
It's been a really good year for football.
It has.
Except for
entertaining.
that 3-7 game.
Well,
Yeah.
what's time check, babe?
17:53.
What? Ah, crap. Any closing thoughts on the second quarter?
I think it was freaking awesome.
Butt cheeks.
By the way, CT texted me earlier. He said we're the #1 football talk show in America. Did you hear that?
I heard that actually. Mike and Mike were talking about it this morning.
It's amazing. I'm
We're-
humbled.
Yeah.
It's our first season,
I called Greeny and Golick up and I was just like kind of I left them a voicemail. I rubbed it in their face a little bit. We'll be golfing this weekend, so
we should be part of Bernie's BLT.
I know.
I do
Or
not
the good,
like
the bad, the
lettuce and tomato.
Yeah.
Huh?
I don't like lettuce and tomato.
But you like bacon.
Bagel.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen of America, meet Pork, the other white Carl. You forgot about that one, didn't you?
No, I didn't forget about that. That's what you first called me whenever we first
You
met.
wanted to forget about that one.
That's alright. You'll forget eventually.
Peace out, folks. See you at halftime. After halftime.
Booyaka!
Booyaka. 619.